And if you have to start over, you can start over as many times as you need to get where you need to be. So, hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm a bit nervous because this one is really personal to me, and I wanted to share it. Maybe just to make it real for one, and just for you guys to like know me a little bit better. It's something that I have not really discussed with people, or open, like outside of my circle, but I think it's time I share it with my YouTube family and just the world at large. So before we get into it, remember to follow me on Instagram at Tanaania, and also follow my business page at Shop Necessities. So from the title of this video, and based on a lot of questions I've received on Instagram, just in person, and just concerned persons or people who have been following me and who know me and maybe just want the tea too. You want to know what happened to my store and why I closed it down. Just a little background. Necessities Closet Essentials, as it's registered, or Shop Necessities as most of you guys know it, has been in existence since the 5th of July 2014, but we officially closed our physical location in Bargain Mall in, what was it, 2 months ago is September, so July, I believe, July of this year. I'm fidgeting and I'm shaking because this is really personal to me, but yeah. So that's like my baby, right? So it's all I knew, because otherwise, from being a nurse and leaving that job and then doing what is my dream, which is fashion or selling clothes, I don't actually know much else. So it was a decision I struggled with for a really long time. Like, closing the doors of the store was the last part of my struggle. Like, a lot of people reached out to me when I did close the doors, and I think they thought that was where I was struggling. That wasn't my struggle. My struggle was months before, when I came up with that idea, or basically when somebody mentioned the idea to me, and I had sleepless nights. I cried a lot. I couldn't eat. I didn't go anywhere. I was just a mess because, like I said, I knew nothing else, and to close it was like, I couldn't imagine and like getting up and not going to the store, or like getting up and not helping my customers, or getting up and not pricing clothes. So it was like really nerve-wracking to me. I think I felt really lost throughout the journey, and I was like, if I couldn't do that, then what could I do? But like I said, it's something that I was struggling with for months. So when everybody saw the clothes and saw me closing, and they reached out to me, when people reached out, it was like, I'm okay guys, because I struggled with it months before. So basically it had a lot to do with finances, that's one, and I think a lot of mismanagement as well. And I personally didn't have the drive that I used to have anymore, which is something that I couldn't admit to myself. Like, running a business is hard, growing a business is harder, and then maintaining a business is the most difficult thing. So if you watched if you followed me up like on Instagram and stuff, you'd have realized I had 2 stores in Bargain Mall. Then I went to 1 store. Then I actually went from 4 workers to 2 workers to 1 worker. It's a transition. It's something that I was struggling with for a while, but as Rohan always tells me, we're sometimes married to an idea of how something should look. So it's like I didn't know success unless it's something that I could see or touch or walk into or feel. And it's something that I struggled with because of that same reason. It's like I didn't know, or I didn't think I would have been considered successful if I didn't actually have a physical location. And he kept saying to me, Amazon is maybe the biggest shopping site in the world, but they don't have a store. Like, you don't go into Amazon and purchase anything. They don't own a store. Like, Uber is one of the biggest travel companies, car companies, and they don't own any cars. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? You guys following me? So I could still be successful as a business owner without a physical location. Because, like I said, I closed the physical location, but not. Business didn't stop. So I was still selling, I was still interacting with customers, but you couldn't come into a space and say, okay, this is a dedicated space of Shop Necessities. So like I said, it had a lot to do with finances. That's one. And two, I lost the drive. I didn't feel, it's like it got heavy, and a lot of stuff I wanted to do, YouTube being one, I never saw where I could juggle all of it. Like, I couldn't be the all-rounded person that I wanted to be having a physical location. I'm not saying anybody else can't do it or that it cannot be done, but for me, I'm not sure if maybe that was a burden I thought would have been too heavy to bear, or maybe I just needed a change. And it's a decision that I had to accept after a while. Like, this might not be for you and you have to be okay with it. But you know, yeah, they're thinking, what will people say, or how will that look, or, you know, just general things, just doubt within my own self. It took a lot of prayer. It took a lot of talking to people, to friends, like even just random people. I'd just see them and I'd be like, what would you think if I closed my store down? You know, I was just that confused about the decision. But like I said, it took time, it took patience, it took me just believing in myself all over again and just saying, all right, I really can do everything that I want to do, and just making the step. And that step would have been to close the store. And it's funny because sometimes I think God directs our path in a way that we don't even know. So certain things happen at a certain time, like just at the right time. So while I was there struggling with this decision, so this is maybe like, so we're going to close within like a week, right? I saw this post on Instagram and I sent it to Roshane and I was like, I think I should apply for this job. But you guys know me. I was never one to really believe in like a 9-to-5 or like working for someone else. Because like I said, I left the hospital and then just went straight into my own business. So I was like, how would I adjust? But then I always felt so drawn to this specific company and just like their ideas and what they put out. And I sent it to him and I was like, you know, I don't even think I said anything when I sent it. And he was like, why don't you apply? And I was like, wow, I really want to. And I think I'd apply for like, they had like different positions. It was like project associate, marketing associate, and two different brand managers. And I was like, I'm going to apply for project associate because in my mind, that was what I would qualify for. Because when I looked, I was like, all right, it needs like this and that and all the fancy things. And I had none of those because, as you know, I was a nurse. I didn't do marketing. I didn't do business. Nothing to qualify for this type of job. So I was like, I'm going to apply for a project associate. So Roshane planted the seed for me. He went ahead and he opened the profile that the business required to apply. And, you know, he filled out some of the sections for me and he sent it to me and he's like, girl, planted the seed for you. You go ahead now and you complete the rest. I had like the profile there for days and I didn't do anything because, like I said, it's self-doubt. And I was like, how would this work out? Like, my business is no longer in a physical space. How am I going to juggle that and then juggle a part-time job? Because the project associate position was part-time. So I was like, how am I going to juggle everything? Anyways, I went ahead and applied. We had a conversation after that, that's me and him, Roshane, and he was like, why don't you just apply for everything? Like, I think you'd qualify for everything and they'd love you. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are going to see my resume or see like my application and say, this girl is confused. She doesn't know what she wants to do. So he pushed me a lot and he said, just apply for everything, like whatever. So I did that. I applied for everything. I applied for the marketing associate position. I applied for the brand manager position. And the day, to show you how funny life is, like the day I did the interviews, it was a whole process again where I think God stepped in, because I sent the application, I sent it the wrong place. I got called in for something I didn't apply for. So like I applied for project associate and got called in for something else to do the interview. I did interview and I think I did foolishness. But anyways, so I was driving into Bargain Mall and it was my phone ringing and it was like a strange number. So when I answered, it was actually that company offering me a position far bigger than the one I had applied for. And I was just like, what? Like me? Like, are you guys sure? Because I am not, like, I didn't apply for one. I don't think I'm qualified for two. And the gentleman was like, yes, you're like overly qualified. And like, he's like, we had somebody for the position already, but we were just so blown away. And I'm like, this girl here? He's like, yeah, do you want the position or not? I'm like, yes, hell yes, I want the position. And I want to tell you guys that it's like one of the best things that have ever happened to me, because working for this company, I feel so at home. I don't feel like an outsider, like trying to join in. It's nothing that I thought working for a company or working for people would have been like. It's like a whole new experience for me. I'm in love with it so much that sometimes I get worried that I'll be too in love with it. And right now I'm juggling YouTube, I'm juggling Instagram, I'm juggling my business, I'm juggling the 9 to 5, I'm juggling so many things, and it's so funny to me that everything has worked out. And now I'm a firm believer that things will always work out. Like, even if you can't see it in the beginning, you have to kind of have this sense of faith that I have sowed certain seeds and God will never let me down. Like, there'll always be something else or another road for me to go, just because you've put in a certain amount of work, and also, just like I said, because you have that amount of faith and you pray and you believe. What I want to tell you guys is you can really be just about anything that you want to be, and that you should always really, like, literally never give up, because there's always something else that you could be doing. So even if you are starting out as one thing, you can be something else. You can actually be all things. It's fine. And if you have to start over, you can start over as many times as you need to get where you need to be. You understand? Take me as a prime example, because now I'm actually the brand manager for Dream Weekend. So yeah, there you have it. I hope you guys liked this video. If you are going through a similar struggle like me, well, I've gone through it, and some days I think I'm through it. But if you do feel lost and you're not sure what direction to go into, you can share a comment below. I'll respond. I'm sure other people will respond as well. Or you could just give the video a simple like. Let me know that you understand where I'm coming from. I know a lot of people out there maybe are in similar situations where they feel lost, and that's fine. I'm here to tell you that that's okay. Rain can't fall every day, sun off a shine. So something has to change, and it will definitely change. Just give it some time, some prayer, and some work. But like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love also if you guys could switch over to Flow. I need you guys to watch all these videos from me and my friends unlimited. So if you could make that switch, that would be great. You could thank me later, and I'll see you guys in the next video.